Okay, now this video is about how to kind of write a little bit of code in NetBeans. So we're just getting used to making websites, and a lot of a lot of this looks very strange when you're just getting used to it. And so NetBeans does a couple things for you. It'll add these little meta tags. I'm going to take those out. We don't need those. Let's make this page as simple as possible, and I'm going to take this out too. So I have an HTML tags. So this basically says, here's the start of my web page, and here's the end of my web page. That's the end tag. Remember, all the end tags have a slash right there. Here's a head tag, and so this is all the stuff that comes. It's not actually going to be seen on the website. So like the title is a great example. The title is what appears if I open up Chrome. So that right there, that's the title of this web page, and this is the title of that web page, and so on. And it's important to have a title because if you don't, it just comes up as untitled document. So if I were to make this page called, Mr. Swain's site, all right, great. Now that's a good title for my page, and the head section is going to end there. Okay, and now I've got the body. And notice I used the white space to kind of help me organize. This looks much more organized than it did before, and I'm going to take this out too. We can ignore that. So I've got my head section up here. I've got my body section here. I've made a division of the page right here. And I can maybe, I can call this something by doing this. If I go div ID equals, there we go. And I'll call it content. This will be like the content area for my page. Okay. And now in here, I can write stuff. So if I want to put a title in here that says Mr. Swain's website, then there we go. Sometimes if you type too fast, the tags won't actually pop up like they should. Okay, so now I've got a basic page going where I've got my HTML tag, I've got the title should appear at the top, and this should appear on the page. So anything in the body will appear on the web page. Anything in the head is just kind of like the information behind the page. So if I click on visual, oh, I forgot to save it. You gotta save it every time. If I click on, there we go. So now I've got my title, which is what I expected, because that's all I have on the page right now. Now I can add some more stuff. I can say I want to add a paragraph, which is just fancy word for I want to add some writing. And say this is a site about me. And then if I save that and go back to visual, all right, there we go. Now I've got that. And if I want to say I want to put in an image or something like that, well, there's multiple ways to do that. I can actually have an image as on my computer, and I could use that. But what's a little easier is if I just find an image online. So let's go find an image online. I like baseball, so I'll go with my favorite hockey player. I can go with my favorite team, so Leafs. Sorry for you non-Leaf fans, but we'll look up the Leafs images, and if I click on there, I want to view that image, and that takes, here's the link. It's a very long link, but it's a link, it'll work. So I'm going to copy that. I just copy that link, and then I'm going to go back to NetBeans, and I'm going to say, let's put in an image. So IMG, like so, and I believe it's sort. Now there's a lot of different things you can do, but I think src is what I want. That's the source, and then I paste that massive image like that, and so now I've got that big thing there, and I'm going to hit enter because that's a long enough line, and I can't remember if I have to end that tag or not. Now this is actually good, because what I'm going to show you here is how do you kind of figure this stuff out. Well, if I go back here, and I've got my image already, I don't need this part anymore. I'm going to Google IMG tag in HTML. So I'm just going to do that. And then I can go to a number of different websites, and I'm going to click this one, and it's going to kind of give me an example of how to use the IMG tag. So IMG, I got that, got my source file, and it looks like I don't need another tag. I can set a height, I can set a width. There's all kinds of stuff I can do, but for my purposes of just putting an image in here, I don't need to end the image tag. It just kind of ends itself. Now I have this yellow here. I'm not sure exactly why that is. Oh, I should have an alt. Okay. So an alt tag, if I put space, you can see there's this alt tag. Alt tags are highly encouraged in the web design community because they're for the visually impaired. If you can't see an image, but maybe you can read text or have something read text to you. So I could say Leafs image, and really all that is something to describe what the image is. Okay. So now that yellow's gone, it looks like I'm okay here, and I'm okay. Get my tabbing right. All right, so now let's save that, and I'll go back to visual. And oh, there we go. And I have my Leafs image. Now it's way too big, way too big. So what I can do is I can go back here, and inside of this image tag, I can actually go space, and I can set a width to be like, I don't know, 100, and I can set a height too to be like 100, like so. Okay, and then I save that, and I go back to visual. Ah, that's better. Okay, so that's just kind of an example of how you can edit source code in NetBeans.